DM Talk, where I'm Henry Knight. I talk about Dungeons and Dragons. I talk about any role-playing game. I talk about game mastering, DMing advice. And tonight, I have a good subject matter. I called it All You Need for the title. Well, you're ready for your campaign. You have everything done. You have your NPCs. You have your characters. You got everything you need. You've got your players. You've got your books. You've got everything in your head. What do you do next? What do you do next? Just play the game, right? Wrong. I knew I was going to say that. First of all, I have to say this before I even go on. I want to tell you all that this is an amazing experience for me. Streaming, letting everybody know that I'm Henry. I'm here giving you guys advice on role-playing, DMing, game mastering, storytelling, whatever you want to call it. It's a lot of fun for me. I love doing this. And please support Playerole, support me and my group. They're a great bunch of guys. I know a lot of times, they're going to do cockamamie stuff, and you know what? That's role-playing. That's what it's about, having fun and doing cockamamie stuff. Just subscribe, like, hit that notification button. Let people know about Playerole. Get the word out. A Patreon, by the way, is coming. A lot of things are coming and in the works. I have a new studio. I got a table. I've got TV in the middle of the table. A dream that I've always wanted, and it's just great. My props go to AJ a lot for it, and he did a wonderful job. I helped, and let me tell you, it was a task in itself. I am not a handy guy, but he did a great job at it, and I thank him very much for that. Now, let's get back to what we're talking about with all seriousness. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention before I continue. The chat is up. I am so glad that I can see you guys. Communication, getting that experience, getting to know you guys is 100%. I love it. The chat is up. It works. I love it. And I want to say thank you on Twitch for continuing to watch me and my group. And then on Fridays, me. It's great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Again, let everybody know about Playerole. We're a small group, and we're having a great time doing this. I'm having a good time doing this. Anyways, episode 44, DM Talk. I can't believe it's been 44 episodes. Wow. How time flies, huh? So here we go. Are you ready for the campaign? You got everything done. You got your story. You have your NPCs. You have everything. Are you ready? Is it like riding a bicycle? For some it is, for some it isn't. Some have to have a whole bunch of notes. I'm a note taker. I love taking notes. For the game, behind the DM screen, I have my notes for the story. I have my NPCs on digital, on Beyond, and I also have them on paper because I'm OCD like that. I like to do stuff like that. To me, it's fun. I love writing, and any paper I like to waste, I'll do it. I'm an old school gamer, and having paper and digital is great. Digital is a new experience for me. Granted, not that old. Shame on you. Digital experience is wonderful, but having old school paper where you can see it is better. It's just my opinion. Now, you have your screen. You have everything you need to know. You have your NPC names. Man, I have this right here. I've got names of different NPCs. I don't know if you're ever in this This situation as a DM or whatever, storyteller or GM, that somebody's like, who is that guy? And you're like, Tony? I mean, off the top of your head, you have to come up with a name. And a fantasy name can be tasky. Old Fart. Thank you, Riley. Old Fart, yeah. Having that type of name is wild. And a name like Old Fart, thank you, Riley, for chiming in, is very, very funny. But yes, coming up with a name on the fly can be tasky. And for a DM, having this on your screen or anywhere behind where anyone can't see is good because you're prepared. Now, we'll get over prepping towards the end of the show tonight. But we're going to talk about prepping itself. Okay, so you're ready for the game, right? You're ready for the campaign. Are you that ready? Because the players, you could have in a story that they're going into a town and they see blacksmiths, they see horses, they see armored individuals with swords at their side. They have silver armor. It's daytime. The beauty of the town. What did Rand say? It was meant for when you were talking about your age paper. Okay, I see. Thank you. That's funny. He was mentioning my age, but yeah, thank you. So anyways, you're in town and you see all these wonderful, lively NPCs, and the players don't want to go in the town. They want to go into the forest. What do you do next? Well, in your story, you have it written that they're going into town. They have to meet, they have to meet a unique individual with a goatee or a patch in his left eye. He walks with a limp. They have to meet that individual. They don't know his name yet. He's Mystery Guy A, per se, right? But the party wants to go in the forest. As a DM, as an experienced DM, you have to come up with those things. So, what do? There's something in the books called sandboxing. And what that is, it's kind of like the reverse of railroading. Railroading is you have some form of road A, road B, a form of control. Take the characters, the players where they want to go. Sandboxing is kind of like MMOs, a free world, free thinking. They can go anywhere, and you're going to have to come up, ad-lib certain situations, and that's exceedingly difficult sometimes. But as an experienced gamer, DM, they go into that forest. What do they see? They see an overturned carriage. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Everybody starts running towards the carriage. So your guy with a limp happens to be underneath the carriage. He's messed up, he's bleeding, and one of the party members is like, hey, that's the dude we have to meet. What? He's got a bag of gold. Well, maybe the party doesn't want to have an adventure. Maybe they want to pillage. Maybe they want to do certain things. Those are the things you have to come up with as a DM. You have to step back and say, oh, I have to work the story. You could have notes, you could have dice, you can be prepared as you can be, but the players will always be 10 steps ahead of you because you're not ready. And what do I mean by that, not being ready? Well, you have to be ready for anything. If they're gonna open the door, the red door, the red room, remember that? Everybody knows that Stephen King movie and book. So you go through the door. What do they find? You gotta be prepared. In your story, they were meant to go to the town. But sometimes, folks, players are gonna go where they go because that's role playing, folks. That's role playing. You have fun. When you play Monopoly and you go around the board, you know systematically, mathematically, you're going to land on Boardwalk. You're going to land there. Somehow, some way you will. That number is going to land you on Boardwalk. But role-playing doesn't work that way. Role-playing means you're not going to land on that road, on a boardwalk. No, you're not. The players will always go in a different direction than you. So what do? How do you bring the party back? And I know I've mentioned this multiple times in DM Talk, but I think, and this is all you need, this episode's called All You Need is a few things, and I'm going to show you how to alleviate those issues. I love ad-libbing. I love the energy of the players. You give me energy, I give you energy back. I'm going to role play the scene, the scenario. So they meet this individual. The carriage, the wagon, is overturned, and he's bleeding, almost half dead, but he has a pouch of gold that he has in his hand. They grab it, and they realize, oh, it's not gold. It's something else. Something like a curse. One of the party members grabs the bag, and they realize that they gaze into it. They have to make a constitution check. Somehow, something happened. This fume or mist spews out of the bag, hits the individual in the face. They miss the constitution check. They fall to the ground, or that individual falls. What happens? The party tries to revive their friend, and they forget about the mysterious individual underneath the wagon. When they turn around and they notice that the individual was gone, so now not only were they have to meet this mysterious individual, he's gone. They were going to help him. They found the bag. They were greedy. As a party, they're like, hey, we want to get gold. Screw this guy. So they grab the bag of gold, or supposedly it's not gold, it's something different. They go to look, or that individual, the party goes to look, and this mist or fume comes out of the bag, and he falls on the ground. Makes a constitution check. What happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. You ever hear of the saying, curiosity kills the cat? And then satisfaction brought him back. I know, they go hand in hand, right? Right, they do. They do. But understand this. When you come up with those concepts, and even though it's not in your story, come up with something quickly. It's not in your story. Well, they were supposed to meet the guy to start the adventure. But the adventure started now because you brought some mystery. You brought some intrigue. They were affixed on that situation. Oh, this guy was a bad dude. Something's up. Let's go to town and find out. Let's get provisions. Let's get him help. So now you have the rope attached. They were supposed to go to that town, and guess what? You brought them back into town, didn't you? That's all you have to do. There's going to be players that are going to be like, no, I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay out here, and I'm going to search for whoever is missing in the forest. And then you could do two things. Have a creature attack. Have a creature encounter. Hey, an encounter. Hear that? Dice roll. Scare the hell out of them. Oh. There's more than a cricket. They hear a growl in the distance. They see some trees and leaves fluttering. What do you do now? They go back to the town? Hell yeah. They don't want to fight. They're not ready. Or maybe they do. Maybe they do want to fight. And if they do, there's an encounter. And guess what? With the encounter, you have some form of currency. And guess what? You go back to the town to spend on weapons or whatnot. Trust me, they're going to go. That's not railroading. Some people will be like, oh, you're railroading, Henry. No, it's simply connecting the dots. Oh, the mystery, sprinkles, right back to the town. Oh, how do you do that? Oh, shit, I don't know. I just did it. It wasn't very difficult, was it? But I did it with fun. I did it with intrigue and mystery. You sprinkle those things in a game, and your players are going to have fun. Now, with all the stuff the DM's guide has, and all the rules and everything together, and how you lay a story out, sometimes it can go off kilter. Not everyone's perfect. I'm not. But I have fun playing the game. And number one, you have to have fun. And everyone in the party has to have fun too, because as a DM, as you're giving the story, telling the story, creating everything around the world, you have to have fun too. And I believe that's the most important aspect of any game. If you're not having fun, then why bother doing it? So I mentioned sprinkling the little, clues to go back to the town. So they go to the town. We'll get back to that. Behind the DM screen, you have your story. You have your list of names. I have notes on creatures. It doesn't have to be very big. Or you can have a digital format, D&D Beyond, that you can use. Or if you're playing another game, cue cards. It has very specific attributes of that creature. It doesn't have to be the whole stat block. It can just give you little hints here and there. You don't need all that. You really don't. Oh, but he didn't run the creature right. Really? Doesn't have to be that way. In my game, when the party met the Tarrasque, a very dangerous creature, it was an illusion. I like to do that sometimes. I like to put a high-level creature in a very low-level area. If they decide to fight it, then they'll do it with their death. But if it's just for show and tell, ambiance, to scare the shit out of them, then that's what it's for. That's what you do as a storyteller, and when you write, you want to give them hints of the story, not give away too much if it's a campaign. If it's a one-shot or anything shorter than a campaign, then you really want to have things fleshed out. Now, some players won't go anywhere. They're hard-headed. They'll just be like, oh, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay in that forest. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to whine like a baby. When? Well, guess what? Bring that story from the town to the forest. You're not railroading. You're simply just manipulating things to make things move. So you can have fun and they can have fun. Oh, but you're saying, oh, Henry, you're just railroading. You're manipulating everything. Manipulating, that's what railroading is. You have to do that sometimes. I didn't say I was railroading. I was just manipulating things slowly. Not the whole game, not the situation, No, I'm simply putting things back on track. Slowly, delicately, moving things smoothly. Now, if they want to call it railroading, then whatever. Sometimes you're going to need to do that. Experienced DMs do it all the time. But sandboxing is my favorite. Why? Because you can feel that energy from the player and you go with it. If the role-playing moments in your game go longer than normal, then let them go. What do I mean by a role-playing moment? Well, they met this serious individual, and you meet them, and you have this conversation. And the hero came out and he grabbed the sword, and he pulled the sword out, and he said, "You, young man, come hither." And you just have those moments. Don't be afraid to do that. That's what role-playing is about. When I first started this endeavor, I was afraid to do this stuff on camera. I said, oh my God, what am I gonna do? But that's role-playing, folks. In the community of gamers, we all do this. You don't have to do voices, you don't have to do any of that stuff. But if you want to, and it's fun, and people at your table are having fun, then damn it, that's what it's about. And I will say this, behind the screen, I have a wooden DM screen. I never had one in a long time, and got it as a Christmas present. It was fucking awesome. It was amazing, and I love it. And what I did was I have different papers that I have with magnets attached to the DM screen that has what I need. If you forget a rule, death saves and stuff like that, all you gotta do is look, it'll be on there. Exhaustion, all that stuff that's rulebooky is on there. And trust me, you're gonna forget all that stuff. Sometimes there's some people that have memories like this. Gosh, boom, boom, boom. I know page 22 of the player's manual and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? None of that matters if your players are running your game amok. And what do I mean by that? They're gonna go to row B and you have everything written on A. And if you're not ready to go on B, to go into that moment, folks, then that's a problem in itself. But let me tell you, a campaign, and I love the title of this episode, All You Need. All you need is to be ready. What do I mean by being ready? We were discussing it briefly. Be ready, ad-lib, role-playing, be ready, get your mind fresh. Don't worry about what's happening in the world right now. You are in a fantasy world for 4.5 hours. Role-play it, forget about the world, and be in your world, in your realm. That's important, folks. You have everything. And over-prepping. You have your notes, you have your creatures. Sometimes I over-prep. Everybody does it. There's nothing wrong with over-prepping. You're just gonna have a whole bunch of papers. And digital stuff, click, 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 oh, look, look, look. It can be cumbersome, yes. But over-prepping does happen. But at least you're prepared, right? Wrong. When you over-prep, it stresses you out. It stresses you out to the point where you want to pull your hair out and you're no longer having fun. That's the key, right there. I'd rather have one piece of paper and have 30 on the game notes than all of a sudden I over-prepped and then and then the players are just damaging your game left and right. And they don't mean to do it. They're just role-playing their characters. Think about it as if you're reading a fantasy novel, and fantasy novel is death, despair, and it's not happy, but towards the end, there's a special moment of that book that's beautiful. It brings tears to your eyes. How would you like to read a book and then the ending sucked completely? And it's happened. It's happened. The ending sucked completely. You would be disappointed, right? The same thing goes with role-playing. If I'm not having fun and they're not having fun, then why bother doing it? That's so simple. Everybody has their own moment in role-playing. Whether it's combat moment, a role-playing ad-lib moment, where it's not part of the story, or it is part of the story, and the player is really getting into it. Those are the moments in role-playing that are so special, that exceeds role-playing in itself. What do I mean by that? You're not an actor, you're not a voice actor, but that moment, you became one. You excelled. You brought out more than you could give for that moment. Oh, you're not making any sense, Henry. Yes, I am making sense. When that moment, you've given everything you could. That is beautiful. That's role-playing. When that character finally gives his voice, and he was afraid to because the other party members or the players would make fun of him. First of all, the players, if they don't want to do a voice, they don't have to do a voice. And if they do, then they do. That's right, everyone. Top of the morning to you. How is everyone doing? I mean, you do the best you can. You do the best of your ability and have fun doing it. That's what I love about role-playing. The moments that you have together, that experience is role-playing. Now, what advice do I have for you when those moments are shattered and you didn't over prep, you were ready to go, and you desperately tried to reconstruct your game? Folks, there's going to be good games and there's going to be bad ones. And if you had a bad game, then you have a bad game. Call it a night. Brush it off. Wait till the next one. Trying to rekindle it, trying to reconstruct it and putting it together is, well, is a problem. Because now you're overthinking, you're making things worse by trying to save something that's been broken, that's been hurt, that's been damaged. And no matter what you do, you can't fix it. What if I told you that you could? When you're running a game and you had a bad moments, the first 2 hours were horrible. And then in the second half of the game, you have 2 hours and 30 minutes left, and you know that you gotta pick it up, you gotta do something. So you do. They have combat, they defeat the creature, or barely defeat the creature, and they start having fun. You see, folks, sometimes the only way to rekindle things is to understand everything that led up to it. What do I mean by that? Understanding those moments. Oh, wait a second. Maybe combat was bad. Maybe the role-playing was bad. Move on. Folks, listen to me. This works for me all the time. It works. Move on and go. If you have a bad moment, move on. Continue. All you can do. And it will make you better because now all the negativity is pushed away and fresh new things are occurring. It's like you're watching a movie. You go to one scene to another. In scene 1, there was death and despair, but scene 2, there would be love and kindness. In scene 3, the hero might make it all the way to the top of the mountain. Might jump every obstacle, and so forth. The hero makes it to the very end, and that's important. The thing is, folks, that if you have an issue in your game and things are not going your way, the only way you can fix those things is to move on. And especially if you're having a 4-hour game, and if it happens at the tail end of the game, then leave it. It happens. That is the episode. I had a game and I filmed it, and you all can watch it. It's called The Mansion. The Mansion, I thought was good, but there was a lot of things that happened incorrectly. What I mean by that is my time management was bad. I just was into the mansion. And for a 4-hour and 30-minute game, time was not on my side. It was going tick, 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 tick. And by the time the end did come, things were disarray. So things happen. It happens to everybody. But learning is the only way you're going to fix those situations on the fly. And folks, in the end, all you need for a campaign is to show up, smile, have a good time, enjoy yourself. Your players enjoy yourself. Be ready. What do I mean by be ready? Have your notes. Have your creatures. Don't overcomplicate things. And go from there. That's it. That's all you need. Hey, if you want to get rule booky, have a DM screen. That helps a lot. Trust me, it does. Here's one for you. Condition blinding. If you don't remember, oh my God, I don't remember what blinding is. Ooh, DM screen. Failed checks requires sight. Disadvantage on attacks. Blinding. You're blind. It's a condition. What's a condition? Just read it. Those are things that it's in the game, mechanical wise, that helps you. Oh, the creature's blinded. Disadvantage on attacks. It's kind of self-explanatory. It's not hard. Just go with the flow. Paralyzed. Oh, you're incapacitated. You can't move. I'm paralyzed. Of course, it's all dex, strength, all that attacks. Well, what do you think's going to happen? Those are things that is on your screen. And we, as GMs, dungeon masters, storytellers, referees, whatever, we have an issue with all that stuff. We forget because we're into the story. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you botch or whatever, you're like, hang on guys, I'm gonna look something up. Yeah, do it. I do it on screen all the time. It happens. I get into the story, I get a brain fart, and I'm like, oh, okay. It does say it. Okay, I know what to do. You gotta roll a DC 10 to stabilize on 3 successes. Okay. It's right there. That's what the DM screen is there for. It helps you out. Anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed DM Talk, episode 44. And man, that's awesome. We're almost at 50. I want to do something special at episode 50. I don't know what it is yet, but I will. Folks, thank you on Twitch for watching. It's awesome. And please, please, please let everybody know about Playerole. We are growing fast, and having more followers, subscribers is just, letting us know that you love us, and we love you too. Join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central for the game. We're going to continue on, episode 27. So just join us tomorrow night, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Anyways, have a great night, guys. Bye.